So if you follow the money, that's usually where all the goodness is. At the end of the day, technology is great, but you need money to develop it, money to buy it, money to deploy it, money to operate it, and money to sustain it. So money drives everything. So why does this matter for today? 70% of all U.S. research and development is funded through private money, not the government. When there was parity between public and private R&D spending every year, it was back when Bo Jackson was a rookie. That's in baseball and football in the 87-88 timeframe. That's kind of the time frame that most of the federal government has been living in still, and it's 2023 now.
Why the shift in 87, 88? Why was that the inflection point? I mean, it comes down to the end of the Cold War. So, I mean, the trend had been gradual reductions in public R&D spend. And industry was slowly coming up to match, but really the public R&D spend was coming down faster than industry was going up. And that had been happening for a while throughout the 80s. But once you get into the late 80s, early 90s, collapse of the Soviet Union, the amount of government R&D spend is fairly de minimis when you compare it to the size of the capital markets. Well, I want to say it's in the trillions of dollars. Like the number that maybe is more realistic is the venture capital ecosystem has about 400 billion sitting in the coffers of various venture capital firms. But today, it's probably only like 1 or 2 billion a year in that venture bucket of 300 or 400 billion is going into defense. And so if you could encourage double the number of venture investors to actually care about the national security space, you could actually get another 4 or 5 billion into defense R&D. DARPA's budget, for instance, is 3.5 billion. So you could basically create another DARPA overnight if you could get 1% of the venture dollars that aren't currently investing in defense to move into defense.